Welcome back to Film Buff Bros, and in this episode, we're going to chat about our favorite 1950s movies.
War movies?
What did I say? 50s movies?
Yeah.
1950s war movies. Okay, so a lot to choose from. I think I talked about A Bridge on the River Kwai before. I love that movie. I love the scoring to it, but I'm going with... There's a lot of naval movies that came out in that, and I'm going with The Enemy Below with, oh golly, it'll come to me. Who's the, well anyway, it's about a, dang it, what's his name? It's about a naval captain, an American naval captain played by Robert Mitchum. That's the name I was trying to figure out. And then I'm not sure who plays the German naval captain, but I like it how it's portraying the war as like these guys have to do it. They're not necessarily, Nazis. I think a lot of people like don't really realize that like the regular German army and the Navy, they weren't necessarily fans of the Nazis. So they're just, doing their duty. If not, they're going to end up like, you go maybe win the war, live in the submarine, maybe die in the submarine or face a firing squad, right? Mm-hmm. So I like how it's kind of about like the camaraderie and honor of seamanship. And like, yeah, Mitchum like doesn't hate the other captain. Spoiler alert. After they blow up the submarine, he saves the other captain. And they're both trying to kill each other like the whole movie, the depth charges and torpedoes. Super well acted, high stakes, obviously, it's war, and it's a must-see. Robert Mitchum, I had never seen it. I was looking up naval movies because I had planned, or, on the list of movie topics that that I think we should review. Naval movies is one of them. I really like movies on the water. I don't really like being on the water. I get seasick quickly, and then you just have all this like mystery below you that, dangerous stuff. But anyway, yeah, The Enemy Below, must see, naval movie, war movie, that's it.
Cool. Yeah, no, I remember having a conversation with someone about like what military branch would you want if you have forced to pick one? Because would you want to possibly die in the ocean, die on the battlefield, die in the air? But sometimes in the air, you'll now you're in the ocean. So, yeah, no, it's war as hell. And this is sort of in the same vein of military trying to question and follow orders and possibly disobey the orders. Paths of Glory by Kubrick, 1957. One of the first, I think maybe the third or fourth Kubrick I've seen. It's a French side of the story. Again, refusal to follow orders by Kirk Douglas, who sees it like a suicide mission. Superiors, like, they disagree with him and they trying to get them for cowardice. The shooting of the trench scenes was pretty amazing. 1917 or 1918 or 1917 movie that came out, kind of same thing where it's like a steady cam shot and you can see like the fear on the men's faces. It's a crisis of consciousness movie again, where he's, he wants to follow orders, but at the same time, he doesn't want to be, these are his like boys, these are his men. He doesn't want to send them into, so he's willing to take the brunt for it, which is, pretty admirable. And like just the ending with like the girl singing on stage, the German girl, like that it's like, they all kind of, music is like, all these things that we all have in common, but we're just being pitted against each other. And that like, the only profiteers of the war are the ones who financially profit off the war and the ones at the very top. So it's a beautiful film by Kubrick, and it's a cool thing. I know another one of my favorite war movies is The Thin Red Line, where again Elias Koteas is arguing with Nolte, and he's saying like, we're not going to take this ridge, like there's no way. And so he's screaming at him, telling him, are you willing to sacrifice anybody? I'm yours. And he's standing his ground, and he's like, no, like I don't want the medals. I don't care about any of that. Like, I'm not sending my men to go. Which back then, I don't know how much it happened back then where someone was refusing to follow orders. in these big battles. But it's interesting to see that side of the war where, you know, they're drawing the line at somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think that that movie depicts like the micro and macroscopic politicization of the war. Yep. And you know, it's happening, you know, in Gaza and in Ukraine, and all wars, you know, with the propaganda and yeah, just like the lack of humanity. And it's just like, oh yeah, you know, like the people, the banks are making their money, they're funding the wars, you know. And it was the Warburg brothers and the Rothschilds funding both sides of the war, right? And it's just humanity is a savage thing. Most people think of humanity as you know, like Hindenburg, oh, the humanity, like it's a sentimental kind of thing. When in reality, like that is almost like propaganda in itself, or that's like a falsehood, because when it comes down to the most like dire stuff and the most like profitable stuff, and you know, it's like the most ruthless rise above, and you know, these notions of camaraderie and courage and glory, like it's all kind of just a show. You know, there is courage, there's courageous people out there, but like, yeah, on a whole, and then incidentally, you know, on a larger scale, it's about money and power, and just there's a lot of like, you know, on a lower level, there's just a lot of like lying and conniving that goes on in order to, like, you know, convince people to lay their life on the line, or yeah, they're just getting forced into it. But yeah, no, I really like the guy in Paths of Glory that plays like the general. You know, he has a shaky voice, he has like the goatee or whatever, and you know, he's just all about like rising up like the ranks and looking good to his superiors, right? Has little to do with like the hundreds of thousands of people he's sending to get slaughtered.
Yeah, it's like, it's war is hell, and it's like even psychological war where people are picking sides, whether it's Gaza or it's Israel or Ukraine or whatever. They're picking sides, and you know, it's like, are they more concerned about like the truth, or are they more concerned about being right? And in relation to a general refusing to take orders, you know, they've kind of decided to draw the line. It's like they've made this oath, they've made this pact, I'll follow. But then they see there's a gray area here. I am a person, and I'm gonna step out and question my views. You know, like question my superiors, right? And that's like questioning authority, same sort of thing. But some people can't do it. They'd rather just be right than seek the truth, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think like the former is far less common. Like the war machine, you know, just keeps plodding on, you know, in any despicable or way that it can. And I think it's a cornerstone of humanity, and you see it like history is mainly, you know, the highlights of humanity, which typically is war. There's periods of peace. I think nowadays it's just so profitable that it I guess we kind of gone more into a political chat here than the movies itself. But yeah, no, that's definitely up there. Oh, an interesting note about Paths of Glory. It's a POW movie, it's a courtroom movie, and it's a war movie.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's like 3 different genres, falls into a lot of different categories. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, that's our video for this week. Tune in next week for another video. Please click down below to like and subscribe, and also please leave a comment and let us know what kind of movies you want us to see review next.
Thanks a lot, guys.